Welcome back to the Angry Man Podcast with Jason and Greg. So, Jay, last night some news dropped in regards to Vasiliy Lomachenko and Gervonta Davis, and it doesn't look like this fight is going to happen any longer. Now, the trainer of Vasiliy Lomachenko apparently had a conversation with Steve Kim, and he disclosed that Vasiliy Lomachenko is not interested in returning until the end of the year. Now, Jay, what does that mean? I don't know. I'm assuming that means that he doesn't even want to step back into a gym until the end of the year, because technically the fight was projected to take place in November, and that's the end of the year. Now, we know Bob Arum was on record here recently, about a month or so ago, saying that the fight was basically a done deal for November, and now Vasiliy Lomachenko is sounding like he's backing out. Now, Jay, we saw a similar thing happen with Shakur Stevenson. Vasiliy Lomachenko claimed that, he wanted to take some time off. He wanted to re-energize himself. Maybe he wanted to focus on what was going on in his home country. And he was not going to go into a fight with Shakur Stevenson. And then later we find that he signs to fight Kambosos. So that was an interesting development there. And it was clear that, at least to me, it was clear that Vasiliy Lomachenko really didn't have any interest in fighting Shakur Stevenson. Now, I do understand to some extent why you wouldn't want to fight Shakur Stevenson. High risk, low reward in that regard. But I don't understand this one, Jay, because you're going to get paid in a Gervonta Davis fight. It's as simple as that. We all understand that. We saw Frank Martin walk away from the negotiation table with Shakur Stevenson, and we saw Lomachenko. But when it came to Gervonta Davis, Frank Martin got his ass right to that negotiating table and signed that contract quick. Mm-hmm. And so I'm curious about Lomachenko. Now, there's a number of different things that we can talk about. I'm going to start off by saying this: if he's trying to negotiate, meaning, hey, I don't really feel like coming back, and we know that Gervonta Davis is on a specific timeline, that maybe he's just trying to figure out a way to get more money. It's plausible. But if he is ducking, meaning the same thing that he did with Shakur Stevenson, then I got a major problem with that. And what I would expect is for everybody to call out Vasiliy Lomachenko the same way they would call out Gervonta Davis if he was stepping away from this fight. Because I don't get it. I simply don't get it. There's been so much attention focused on certain fighters when they don't make fights, Jay. And we are guilty of it as well. I don't want to make it seem like we are not guilty of it as well. But focus on Errol Spence, focus on Terrence Crawford, focus on Devin Haney, or focus on Shakur Stevenson, so forth and so on. But guys like Zepeda, guys like Lomachenko, when they step away from fights, you don't hear the venom. Now, there's an argument that can be made that when you talk about those gentlemen, they're at the pinnacle of the sport, and that's a part of the reason why they get so much heat, because they have a bigger following, a bigger fan base. That's fine. I can understand that argument, but still, I need to see a level of criticism associated with Lomachenko if he is not making this fight for whatever reason. If you want to try to negotiate, fine, but you need to go ahead and make this fight, because if the roles were reversed and this was any other fighter, including Devin Haney, Shakur Stevenson, Crawford, Spence, anybody, they'd be saying that this is a clear-cut duck. It's just that simple. So I need for all content creators, and I need for fans to have that exact same energy, because this gentleman is passing up millions of dollars to say that he's going to go do what? Go chill with his family. And, he's not retiring. He just needs some time.
Yeah.
He just needs some time. Jay, what's your thoughts on that, fam?
I think it's BS, man. It's just, hopefully it's just a misunderstanding when I'm saying, well, he's talking about not returning to the end of the year, which would be November, December. To your point, it's in the gray area because they didn't say, is he returning to training? Is he actually going to be ready to fight, or is he returning to training in November? Then they ain't fighting until the spring. And Tank ain't going to wait. Tank don't have to wait. He's the A side, and he's going to give you your biggest payday ever. And people still try to say that, Loma has a chance in this fight here and whatnot. Then take the fight, man. Take the fight. All this, I don't have motivation. How you don't have motivation for the biggest payday of your fight and the biggest threat of your career right now, but you don't got motivation? Now I'm saying you don't have motivation. Now, if you're retiring, just retire, bro. I mean, I get it. You're 36. You just won a big fight against Kambosos for you to get a belt. You can't be undisputed because you got to fight at least two more fights to be undisputed. 3 more fights to be undisputed. to get all the belts. So you don't have much time left. The sand in that hourglass are pretty much gone for you for your chances of getting undisputed because you lost to Devaney on that. So I mean, if you don't have motivation, man, just stop it. We've seen this before. You did it with Shakur. You know, you took time away and then you come back and all of a sudden you're fighting Camboso. So I understand that. That was money wise. That was for money. This case here, I don't get it. Unless you truly don't have the desire to fight no more, then don't do it. I get it. You don't play boxing. Either you're in or you're out. Because if you're halfway in, you're gonna get put to sleep and get hurt seriously. If you're not, then just get out, just stay out, man. I mean, I'm mad because I really want to see this fight because I saw this as one of the layers for Tank, this fight, then Shakur, and then whoever else is around 135, 140 more than likely for him. And then go off to the sunset because we've been talking about we want to see him fight these fighters. It's pretty much lined up. This ain't on Tank. You can't say it's on Tank. I know people are going to try to spin it some type of way. They'll try to spin it and put it on Tank and PBC. This is all on Loma. His trainer's saying all this crap. So y'all need to hold his feet to the fire like y'all hold everyone else to the fire.
Yeah, absolutely. He shouldn't get a pass. And I'm starting to wonder if we've seen people talk in the past about Gervonta Davis supposedly avoiding Vasiliy Lomachenko. And I'm wondering now if Vasiliy Lomachenko was really all that inclined to fight Gervonta Davis. Now, I dropped some videos. I believe it was maybe in the Discord, or I think it was in the Discord. And you could tell by the way that Lomachenko was speaking, he didn't really even have any interest in fighting Gervonta Davis back then. Like he was talking, that fight really doesn't interest me. Like he was saying this back in like 2019, 2020. He was saying this. So my thing is this, like that style may not be very appealing to Lomachenko. And by style, I mean that slick style. And a lot of people don't feel like Tank is all that slick, but Tank actually is very slick in terms of his ability. And that style with that punching power may not be something that's all that desirable for Vasiliy Lomachenko. But again, maybe this is a ploy. Maybe this is a situation where he's trying to figure out a way to get a little bit more money because he knows that Gervonta Davis is on a specific timeline. And that timeline is probably more than likely to fight in November and then have another big fight somewhere in March or April would be my guess, right? And so maybe he knows that Tank is on that timeline. He's trying to figure out a way to leverage a little bit more dollars out of the situation. That's perfectly fine. But if this is a situation where this fight doesn't take place this year toward the end of the year, when we know that you had this opportunity and you chose to go over there and fight Cambosos because you felt that there were more dollars there and that Shakur Stevenson was high risk and low reward, okay, fine. But you're in a situation now where it's high risk, but it's also a high reward, and you're still turning it down. A pattern is being formed here, and we got to call it out. The same way we will call it out with those other fighters that I mentioned earlier, period. So I want to see other content creators do that, and I want to see the fans do that also in the comment section. Okay? All right, Jay, anything else you want to share on this?
Nah, just keep it. Keep the main thing. Keep it even.
Yep. You guys tell us what you think in the comment section. Don't forget to hate, like, comment, and subscribe. This is the Angry Man Podcast, M Sports Media, and we are out.